Today, you guys, we're going to be talking about workplace ethics. This particular lesson plan is for a cooperative education seminar class, and I have our learning objectives on the board today. First, we're going to list terms that relate to workplace ethics. We're going to summarize employment skills that employers expect when you get into the workplace. We're also going to analyze unethical decisions in the workplace to determine corrective action. We'll display ethical workplace behavior in response to unethical situations. And then you guys are going to integrate good ethics in a behavioral plan for a career that you guys have already thought about. So to get started today, we're going to first define what workplace ethics is. By definition, it's a belief in the moral benefit and importance of work and its inherent ability to strengthen your character. So what does that mean to you guys? Any ideas? Raise your hand. Yes. Okay. Doing what you think is right and good morals.
How you act at work.
How you act at work. Okay. Anybody else? Does all have a job? Believing that its inherent ability, it has an inherent ability to strengthen your character means that if you go to work and do a good job, that it will somehow make you a stronger and better person and a more person. So to get started today, we're going to do an activity on Wordle. Who else have used Wordle before? Raise your hand. Well, good. This will be fun. We're going to create a word cloud. So first and foremost, you guys will need to think about workplace ethics. We just talked about the definition, things in the workplace that you think of, different types of words. We're going to go to Wordle.net, WORDLE.net, and create a word cloud. So go ahead and log on right now. Wordle.net. WORDLE.net. And you're going to get started by choosing Create Your Own. My internet, you guys, is being a little tricky today. So I'll talk you through it as you get there. As you go to Wordle.net and click on Create Your Own, you're going to see a box that says paste in a bunch of text, or if you already have some text, you could already put in a URL. If you don't have text to paste, go ahead and start typing. And I want you to type in any words that you can think of dealing with work, good workplace ethics, treating others fairly. What you need to do is hit enter after every single word. So you'll type in a word. Attitude might be a word. Click enter. What would be another word to describe good workplace ethics? Respect would be a good word. Hit enter.
How about punctual?
Punctual would be a good word. Anybody else? Those of you that have jobs, what good workplace ethic do you uphold to?
Teamwork.
Teamwork. Very nice. Organized? Organized would be good. Trust. Honest is good. Communicating with the other, and the cars are coming around, be big trouble. All right, who else had a job over here? What do you do?
I'm a lifeguard.
Lifeguard? What about you? Which term in workplace ethics really stands out for you?
Probably focus.
Focused? I I believe that would be a big one for him too. All right, so we've learned a little bit about what workplace ethics is, and I wanted to talk to you guys today about some things that employers expect when you get into the workplace. Whether you have a job or not, you are already building a good work ethic just by coming to school every day and being punctual and coming to class and listening to your teachers and participating. Those types of things are helping you build a good work ethic. And there's some things that can't be taught in school. Some things that are just part of you. And some of those things are what employers are expecting. I talk to employers all the time who say, if I could just get someone to come to work on time and not sleep, then I would be able to train them to do what I need them to do. So these types of skills are things that are personal qualities. Some of them are habits, attitudes, and social graces that you're expected to come into the workplace with. And many of them are inherent. They're in you. You might have gotten them at home. They might be part of your upbringing. But most of them are not taught in school. So, what exactly are they looking for from you guys? Written and verbal communication skills. They expect you guys to be able to speak and be able to get your ideas across. They expect you all to be able to write in complete sentences using proper punctuation and grammar and spelling. When you come on the job, they expect you to understand what they do and how you can provide the best care for their clients or their customers. So at Winn-Dixie, your clients and your customers, what type of service do they need from you?
Just have to be polite, make sure they get what they need, do things like do some kind of thing.
Okay. You need to be polite. You need to probably work at a fast pace because you don't want your line to get backed up. You also need to make sure that everything is scanning properly, right?
I have a conversation with you, that's not regular.
Exactly. You're expected to be personable with the customers as they come in as well. So when you get a job, the first thing that you need to do is think about how you fit into that situation and how you can provide the best care for the customers or the clients. They expect every single one of you to have basic computer skills. And the good news is, you do, for the most part, have good computer skills. You all have the laptops now. You're doing word processing, PowerPoint presentations, and Excel. These things should be on your resume, and they should be things that you're proficient in when you get out into the workplace. They also want you all to be able to perform basic math and reading. And for all of y'all who take the standardized test and think it's garbage, I promise you those types of things are going to come back to see you when you get out in the workforce. You all need to be able to work percentages and basic fractions, as well as read directions and comprehend them. When you get out in the job, it's not like being in class. All right? There's not necessarily a teacher or an instructor there to tell you every 10 minutes, this is what we're going to do next, and this is our next goal. You might be given an instruction manual and told to read it and comprehend it, and they don't expect you to ask a lot of questions. They want you to do the work. That's why they're paying you. Public speaking. How many of y'all plan to go to college? We talked about this once. Raise your hand. Almost every degree plan I have seen has a component for public speaking in it. It's that important. Even if you come to Faulkner for 2 years, you've got to take Speech 107, Fundamentals of Public Speaking. Reason being is employers expect you all to be able to come into the workplace and to not only communicate to groups at large, but also just a small group around a table. You've got to be able to formulate and verbalize your ideas and be able to properly communicate with others. So public speaking is a very important skill to have in the workplace. Critical thinking and problem solving. You guys are going to come up against problems in the workforce. But like I just mentioned, you're not always going to have somebody right there on top of you to help you work through it. They expect you guys to come in and to ask critical questions and be able to identify problems. They want you to gather data and be able to assess and figure out what it is that's wrong. How can you fix it without bothering your supervisor every few minutes? You need to be able to test theories. If you think you might be able to fix something, You need to try a couple of different methods before you raise the flag and say, hey, I need help here. And you also need to communicate those results from whatever type of problem it was and how you handled it. Being friendly and adaptable, easy to work with. Easy to work with is very, very important. You guys need to be flexible. How many of y'all that work already have been asked to cover somebody else's shift? Pretty much anybody that's working. You need to be flexible. You need to be able to help out. Employers like that. It makes you look good. It makes you look like you're there for the team and not just there for yourself. Having an organized and neat work area. You just mentioned that for your job. It's important. It's an image thing. The company is only as good as what their employees look like. If you go to the track and your orange polo shirt is all rumpled up and it's torn and you didn't bother to get a new one, it looks bad. So you need to have an organized persona when you go to work every day. Capable of acquiring information, understanding resource outlets. When there's a problem, you guys need to know who to go to, and you need to recognize the time when to go to them. All right? So it's important to know who has the information you need and when you need to go to them to get it. Understanding systems. This is important not just in the workplace, but it's also important in school. You need to understand in school what's expected of you, when you need to get things done. In the workplace, you need to think about who your competitors are. Your employer wants you to know that information. Many times in a job interview, you might be asked that before you even get a job. Do you know who our competitors are? Do you know who our customers are? Do you know what type of outcomes we're looking for in our business? So you guys, many of these things that we're talking about, they go for the workplace as well as for your school environment as well. Working as a team member. Who had teamwork on their Wordle? Okay, a lot of you guys put it on there. What is your role? Not everybody is a team leader. We can't all function as team leaders. If teams only had leaders, then nothing would ever get done. So you guys need to recognize what your role is and do your best at that role. If you're the worker bee type person, if you're the organizer, if you're the encourager, that's fine. Not everybody can be a leader. But know what your role is and do it well. Self-motivation. This is so important. You need to be able to get motivated, get to work on time, do your work without being constantly prodded, because you want to take pride in a job well done. That's having good work ethics. Striving to do your best is important. Time management. How many of you guys consider yourself good time managers? You do? How do you manage your time for, like, let's say you have a project coming up?
Just whatever extra time you have, just do it. You just need to do the project instead of goofing off and stuff that that can wait or that's not necessary at this time. You need to prioritize.
Okay, very good. If you have spare time, use it towards your project. You also need to put things in order. Prioritize is important too. You might have a long list of things to do, but you should number them. Which one's most important? Which one can come second? Which one can come third? All those things are important, not just in the workplace, but in school too. All right. So, to finish up today, you're going to be divided into predetermined groups, and you're going to be given a work ethics scenario, something that somebody is doing wrong in the workplace. You guys are going to talk about the situation in the group, decide the wrong behavior, why it's wrong, who benefits from that, who loses from that, and then you guys are going to determine who is going to act out the scenario. After that person acts out the unethical scenario, we'll talk about it as a class, and then that person, or perhaps another person in the group, can come up and act out the right way, the way it should be done, so that it can represent positive and good work ethics skills. All right? Anybody have any questions? Ms. Jones and I are about to pass out the scenarios and split you guys up.